Show. This is episode 936. I'm joined by a really special guest. His name is Adarius Pickett. They call him the Pick Six. He's a safety. He went to UCLA for college. He played for the Chicago Bears, Los Angeles Chargers, New England Patriots, and now he plays for the Montreal in the Canadian Football League. So we're really looking forward to this interview. And Adarius, I just want to say thank you for joining the show. It's truly an honor. And first of all, how are you and your family doing today?
I'm doing really well. My family's doing well back in the States. Like you said, I'm out here in Canada, Montreal. I'm playing in the CFL right now, so I'm excited to be on the show today.
Yeah. So I want to tell our fans about your childhood growing up. Obviously, you were born in California, Berkeley, California. So what was that like growing up as a kid there? And when did you get interested in the game of football? And who would you say your biggest role model was?
Was involved in sports at an early age. I think I started playing baseball when I was 4. I think I started playing football when I was either 6 or 7. So role model, I guess, growing up with my pops. He played minor league baseball, played for the Oakland A's and the Kansas City Royals. So growing up, I always, like I said, was involved in sports. My big brother watched him and followed his footsteps, really. And I just, like I said, love playing sports, love being around people.
Yeah, so speaking of playing multiple sports, did you ever think to yourself maybe you could be a two-sport athlete while playing baseball and football? You got like Bo Jackson, who played 2 sports, Michael Jordan. So did you ever think to yourself maybe you could play 2 sports at the same time?
I definitely did. Like I said, I grew up playing both baseball and football. So my last year of baseball was, I want to say, my junior year in high school. I had batted 400. I think I had 30 stolen bases.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't play my senior year because I graduated high school early. I mean, a lot of people were telling me to, stay and play. I could have possibly got drafted. But I chose to go to college. So I thought about playing at UCLA, thought about playing baseball, but I ended up redshirting my first year after, graduating from high school, being All-American football. I'm like, I came here to play football, so if I'm not playing my first year, I can't just go to the baseball field now. So that's kind of like how that went.
Yeah. So speaking of what did you learn as a player in high school, as a senior? Obviously, a really important year for when the scholarships come in. And for you, what did you learn before going to college as a player to get better?
I had got my first scholarship offer as a sophomore from the University of Utah. So after that, everything kind of just trickled in. My junior year was real big with scholarships. I committed to UCLA, I want to say after the first game of my senior year. So I was focused on winning the championship. We had went 13-1 the previous year. We lost to the quarterback for the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, his team. And that next year was just, I was focused on winning the championship, and we did that. So I was happy about that.
Yeah, speaking of your recruiting process, tell our fans about your college recruitment process. Obviously, you chose UCLA, but obviously you got an offer from Utah. How many other offers did you get? Other than
I had 20 plus offers. My last couple options, I mean, the deciding factors, I want to say, was UCLA, USC, Stanford, Cal. I had offers all across the country. Really, I did well in school always, so I had some of the most prestigious, I want to say. I had a couple Ivy League options that I could have went to as well, so I had a number of different offers coming out of high school.
Yeah, so what was it like getting recruited by Coach Jim Mora from UCLA, and what did you like about that school?
UCLA is an amazing school. It's an amazing environment to be in itself. You're surrounded by Beverly Hills, Bel Air, Brentwood. UCLA is in actually Westwood. So being in LA, you never know who you're going to see, on campus, around. A lot of people visit UCLA all the time. So like I said, got a chance to meet a lot of different people. It's a beautiful campus. Coach Mora was a great coach, I feel like, for me at the time. And I really enjoyed playing under him for the 4 years that I was there until he had got fired. I want to say was that 2017? He got fired, and then Coach Kelly had came in after that. I finished up with him my last year.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Did they recruit you to play any other positions or strictly safety?
I actually was recruited as a cornerback, so I
Oh,
played cornerback and running back in high school. I came in as I was number seventh, eighth corner in the nation at the time that I came in. Yeah, UCLA. I came in early, like I told you, in the spring. So started off at corner. The training camp came around. I was playing like between corner and nickel, and one of our running backs got hurt, and I ended up playing. They moved me to offense. I was playing running back for a little bit. Um, I played, like I said, running back in high school. So did that for a couple of weeks. I want to say the second and third game of the season, our starting safety got hurt. DB coach was like, "You're not playing over here, so
hmm.
come back to defense, and we need you to go, learn safety." So that was kind of my transition into safety. It was funny because coming out of high school, I mean, like when I was getting recruited, I was always telling colleges, like, I don't want to play safety. You
Yeah,
guys are trying to make me be a safety. I'm not going to come to you in school. And
right.
UCLA was on like, we're going to leave you at corner. So, at that time, my freshman year, I was just trying to play. And I ended up becoming a safety. So,
Yeah. So speaking of transitioning, how was it an easy transition from a cornerback to safety, or how long did it take you to adjust from that?
it didn't really take me that long. I like this. I always like to hit. So me playing in the box, me playing back deep, understanding, different coverages and schemes and stuff like that. What offense we were trying to get accomplished. I've always been told that I was a smart football player, so it didn't really take that long for me to adjust. I didn't play, like I said, I redshirted that year, so I was more so, practicing and stuff like that. But that next year was able to get more involved in my career throughout UCLA. I became one of the top safeties there. So
Yeah, so tell our fans that obviously UCLA has a lot of tradition and then a lot of history, and they're a great program. Obviously, basketball, football now, and what did you like about the tradition and playing in front of those fans? And obviously, I had Chase Griffin on the show too recently, the backup quarterback here in UCLA. And what do you like about UCLA and the fans?
the fans was amazing when I was there, just coming to the games, cheering, being loud and all of that. I want to say one of my favorite games playing in the Rose Bowl. That was also an experience. Our home stadium was a Rose Bowl, which is, very historic in itself. But one of my favorite games playing in the Rose Bowl, UCLA, was 2017. We had a comeback win over Texas A&M, down 34 points, come back second half, win. We won by 1 point, and that was one of the greatest
Wow.
games and comebacks in college history. So
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite games to play in front of the fans.
Yeah. So speaking of that Rose Bowl, obviously the national championship is the biggest game. But what's it like? What was it like just getting there, getting to the Rose Bowl? Obviously, it's tough. It's always tough to get where you want to be. But when you guys got to that Rose Bowl, what was that feeling like? And just how grateful are you to be part of that history in college football?
I mean, just being able to play, having the Rose Bowl Stadium be our home field, was really
Yeah.
special. You go there every time you had a home game, and it's you just look at the field and you just can think of memories from other people, games you didn't watch on TV, all the other great players that came through there and played on that field, and it's kind of like special feeling for real. So I was, like I said, really thankful that I had the opportunity to play at UCLA.
So I'm just curious. Before we go any further, tell our fans when did you get the nickname Pick Six in college or in the NFL?
I actually got that in high school. High school, like I said, cornerback. My last year in high school, I had 31 touchdowns. I had 9 interceptions. I caught a couple picks, took them to the crib. And my last name is Pickett. Perfect for DB. So my friends kind of gave me the name Pick Six, and it's stuck with me. Was ended up being number 6 at UCLA, so that's kind of how that happened too.
And you're still number 6, right?
I'm number 6 right now as well.
Yeah. So tell us your draft process and obviously your combine. What was your combine like? And obviously,
The draft process was really interesting. I had led the nation at my position my senior year at UCLA. I had 123 tackles. That year, I had, I want to say 2 picks. But the draft process was real interesting. I went to the East-West Shrine game, played in that all-star game. After that, I had Pro Day, and it was just an interesting process, leading up into the draft. You thinking that you did everything, you possibly can to get drafted. And then you find, like me in my situation, I was projected, day 3, 4, 7. I'm thinking I'm getting, drafted somewhere in between there. But that didn't happen. My name didn't get called in the draft. And that was a real weird feeling. You know what I mean? You expecting, really, because I'm like, I could have left a year before. I decided to come back. I played even better, my last year. And to not get drafted, that hurt. But at the same time, I had an opportunity to, go. I signed with Chicago not too long after the draft. And I was thankful for that. But after that, it didn't get any easier. I signed in Chicago. I remember going out there and we had rookie minicamp. And then we were supposed to have rookie minicamp, be off for a week, and then come back with the vets. So I remember day 1, we had practice. Everything was good. Day 2, I signed my contract. Day 3, rookie minicamp is over. We're getting ready to leave for the week and then getting ready to come back. I remember getting a call by one of the front office people, said the GM wanted to speak to me. So I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure he's going to, congratulate me for, being here. I was one of the first ones that they signed after the draft. So, I go in there, how you doing, sir? And the first thing he was like, hey, Pick, man, I just want to let you know, thank you. Thank you for what? He was just like, I need to sign a couple players at, a couple different positions, a kicker, I want to say a defense, offensive lineman. We're going to have to release you. So I'm like, whoa, I just signed my contract yesterday. What you mean?
Yeah.
That was real interesting. So I remember getting on the phone after leaving him, calling my agent like, man, what's going on? I just got released. And I was on my way to Atlanta. My agent was in Atlanta at the time too. So I was on my way to, Atlanta. And he was just like, we're going to figure it out. So I got to Atlanta 2 days later. I got a call to the LA Chargers. And the Chargers, they had brought me in for that little 30, I think you get 30 people to bring in pre-draft or whatever. So they brought me in for that. And I wasn't expecting to get that call, but I'm like, okay, I got this rookie minicamp tryout now. I'm not signing to them. I have to go out there and try out. So I had 3 days. They went out there. I did really well at the tryout, at the rookie minicamp thing. And for the 3 days that I was there, and they didn't sign me. So I ended up flying back to Atlanta after the fact. 2 days later, they called me back. They said they wanted to sign me. So I ended up having to fly back to LA. And I was out there going through OTAs, and it felt good to be back on the West Coast. It felt good to be in LA, like you said, UCLA home, but all of it felt natural. We ended up going through training camp started, ended up going through preseason, playing in preseason games and stuff like that. And I was really enjoying myself, my last preseason game was we was playing against the San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara. I had a lot of, of course, family and friends at the game. And in the fourth quarter, the last defensive play that I had in the game, I got an interception to seal the game to win. Yeah. So this is, right before it cuts and all of that. I'm like, there's no way that I'm not going to make the team. You know what I'm saying? Because I got the pick in front of my family. It was the most surreal feeling ever. I feel like a little kid. Something to dream of and all of that. But I ended up being on the news in the Bay and in LA, local star player, Adarius Pickett and all of that. So I'm ecstatic, we had to fly back. We had cuts. So, day 1 was, I didn't get cut. I'm like, oh, I'm good. Like day 2, I remember my mama, she called me and she was like, do you want me to fly to LA to come help you set your apartment up? Let's get ready for, this season and all of that. So I was like, I said, Mom, I'm gonna call you back in like 30 minutes because I got to get past these last 30 minutes for this deadline to know if I can cut or not. It was like 15 minutes later, I got a call, go talk to the GM. And the GM, I got there, he was like, man, you're a hell of a football player, but I never planned on signing you for real.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? And he was just like, you did everything you were supposed to do. But he said, we signed you back in May. I felt bad for your situation with Chicago. He was like, I'm about to give him a chance. He was like, I plan on releasing you 2 weeks later. He was like, but you kept showing like that you belonged here. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give him the training camp. He was like, training camp came. I was like, I'm gonna probably cut him in 2 weeks. 2 weeks in the training camp, Derwin James, that starting safety, he got hurt. And he was like, okay, now we need to keep him for depth. He was like, then you just start, balling. And he was just like, now I just don't have a spot for you. So I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I always thought, if you do what you're supposed to do, show your talent and all that, the best gonna be here. But I mean, in that situation, that wasn't the case. So I ended up going back home. I went to the Bay. 2 weeks later, I got a call back. Adrian Phillips, who now plays for the Patriots, he had broke his arm during the game or something like that, or wrist or whatever. And they called me right after the game, whoever they played against, and they was like, we're gonna sign you back. You know the plays and all of that. Get ready to, start playing. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm happy again. I think that was the 17th of September 2019. 2 weeks later after that, October 1st, I get a call from the I stayed in the hotel, for the week that they gave us. I pay for myself to stay in another hotel for a week after that. So I had to I was finding an apartment. I found an apartment. I was trying to explain the situation to the leasing people and all of that. Like, I need this much money, it's a difficult situation, I'm telling you. But I found an apartment in Anaheim that was, working with me. That was cool. I was on my way to go sign a lease. I get the call from the front office. They're like, Pig, it's a Tuesday. We like, Pig, I need you to come in. We need to talk to you. So I'm like, I was just at the facility. We had workouts this morning. Like, it's supposed to be our day off. They're like, yeah, make sure you bring your iPad. I'm like, oh, it's one of them. So I called my agent. I'm like, I think I'm about to be released. So that was on October 1st. And I was released. And I was like, dang, like, I thought I was the safety that they drafted he got hurt in the game. So he had came up to me. He was all like, off and on hurt. And he was like, bro, you about to start playing. Like, you about to play. So I remember the defensive coordinator and the DB coach pulled me in to their office and was like, man, we was getting ready to, basically put you in for this week to play. Like, what's going on? And I'm thinking, like, y'all lying because y'all gotta be knowing what the GM doing. So, but I guess they didn't. But I was hurt by that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was hurt by that. I ended up going home, and I was at home for from October 1st to December 11th, and that's probably one of the hardest periods of my life just because it's football season and I'm not playing football. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do to, make sure that I'm here. But I want to say, like, the only thing that kept me going was really God. I really, had to take time to really just pray, really just take time to spend with God. I was reading the Bible every day. Because, I mean, you not only am I a football player, but I'm a regular person too. So I got my own personal, things that be going on and situations come up and it's some things that happen and transpire that I, didn't expect to happen. So, like I said, it was a tough time during that time. So I ended up getting a call to New England, December 11th, 2019. They called me and was like, we're going to sign you here for the rest of the season. We like you. I had visited them week 2 before I ended up signing back to LA. I visited them, had a workout with them. So that was cool. Got a chance to be around Tom Brady for his last year with the team and stuff like that. New England was a great organization. Love being with them, being with the organization. We lost the first round of the playoffs. They signed me back to a futures deal after that. And then the pandemic hit. Pandemic hit. But we all the virtual thing, we all virtual online. That was really weird, just being like we on Zoom right now. That's all our meetings was for OTAs and all of that. And we sending in workout video, like you got to send in workout videos. We had a little workout thing you had to check off and all of that. Real interesting time, pandemic. But I was locked in because I'm like, man, this is it. I got an opportunity now. They signed me back. They messing with me. That's probably the hardest I didn't ever train prepared for a season. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, my trainer, he was on it. Shout out to Jamal Liggin in LA. He trained some of the top NFL players, and I was thankful to be a part around them. But it was that pandemic. It was crazy because we working out any way we can. Gyms is closed and stuff like that. We doing a whole lot of everything. So I remember, like I said, preparing. Went out there in July. I think it was like the 25th, 26th, 1 and 2. But went out there, we getting ready for training camp. Got there on a Saturday evening, and it felt good. Last time I was in New England, it was snowing and weather was bad. And this time, you know, summertime, it was sunny outside.
Yeah.
So I remember calling my mom and I was like, Mom, like, listen, I just unpacked everything. This is the first time in a year and a half that I fully unpacked my suitcase. Like I fully unpacked everything in the room. I'm set up. I'm ready to go. I feel like God brought me here for a reason and everything. And I'm really excited. And she was just like, you know, go do your thing. You know, we proud of you. You ready? Go kill it. So I'm just like, okay. The next day, I hit the travel lady that night. Like, can we get packages sent, you know, to our room? Like, what's the address for that? The next day at like 11, she called me. Well, she texted me and was like, can you call me like when you get a chance? So I'm like, okay. I'm thinking she gonna tell me about the info, like, you know, for the thing. So I give her a call. I'm like, you know, hello, like what's going on? She like, what time do you want to leave? And I'm like, where we going? Like, where training camp at? She like, wait, you ain't talk to your agent? I'm like, talk to my agent about what? And she was like, well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but we cut our roster down from 90 to 80. So everybody can, you know, be on one field this year for the pandemic, whatever, for training camp. And you one of the players is getting released.
Wow.
I'm like, I just got here last night. I ain't been here for 24 hours yet.
Oh my
but
God.
Let me call you back. So I called my agent and he like, man, you know, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I just got the news too. Man. And the travel lady, she was the one who told Miss Nancy told me that I was being released. And I called her back. I'm like, yeah, put me on a plane then. So from that point on, I was like devastated. I ain't never, you know, that was real. I just got here.
Wow.
Now I'm flying. I got to fly back I flew from Cali to Massachusetts, and I got to fly back from Massachusetts back to Cali. Like, it was crazy. And again, you know, I just worked hard, the hardest I done worked in my life, you know, for this opportunity, and invested in myself, spent money that, you know, invested in myself and all of that. And I'm like, I can't even go to one practice. You know, after that, for about a month, I was out. Tennessee got a call. I had a workout with Tennessee. That was a crazy thing too, because, you know, workout little with the whole pandemic, you had to quarantine for a few days, and my quarantine got extended because one of the players on their team that did something ended up being out there for a week. Did well though in the workout, but I didn't get signed. I remember going back home and I'm just like, man, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm really trying to figure it out. And one of the coaches at UCLA, Coach Deshaun Foster, he's the running backs coach there. He was there when I first got to UCLA. I always been real close with him and stuff like that. But he had gave me a call and was like, I think you should come coach. Like while you wait, so you can train and you can still be around ball. So I'm like, okay. So I start coaching with UCLA last year. I was a defensive analyst working with the DBs. So I did that from October throughout their season, a pandemic season, and I ended up becoming a GA in January. Ended up having to go back to school in March. So I was starting my master's in transformative coaching and leadership at UCLA, and I'm working out. This whole time I'm working out every day, you know, just waiting for opportunity. My agent had told me to do pro day again, you know, do drills in front of the scouts, and did that. And when June hit, I ended up getting a call from one of the CFL team with Montreal, and they was like, you know, we really like you. We really feel like you could be an asset, you know, to, you know, the team. You know, this could possibly help you get back to where you want to be. So I was like, okay. I thought about it because it was like I said, I'm back in school. I'm coaching now. This whole time, like as you seen the story, there's no stability here. You know, I'm sleeping on people's couches. I'm sleeping here. Like, you know, I'm trying to figure it out. But, you know, like I said, guys kept me. But thankfully, I have, you know, people around that really care about me, make sure I'll be straight. But like I said, it's been a tough time. But coming out here, I was thankful that to make that decision. I had told Coach Kelly, you know, I got the opportunity to go play. And he was like, man, you've been a hell of a, you know, coach for us. But I've been seeing you every day working out. He said, man, this coaching thing going to be here, man. Go play. Go ball. So I ended up coming out here, and I've been out here since July.
Wow, what a crazy story, man. That takes a lot of guts, man. Some players just quit or retire after that, but you just kept going and worked hard. And look, you're playing football again, and obviously in the CFL league. And but before we get to CFL, I just want to ask you, what was it like when UCLA came back calling for you, and obviously giving the chance to coach and finish school at the same time? And what was that experience like being a coach and teaching these kids? I mean, the college kids to become better players also, and sharing your story to them.
It was real inspiring for me, really, to be in that position, to be able to share my story with them, and also let them know to really enjoy this time, because you can't, like, these are times you don't get back, and to really be, not only motivating, but be there with them. Like I said, I'm at practice, I got my cleats on, I'm showing them, try to, do certain things, whether it's technique, doing drills with them, before, after practice, doing everything I can to help, them out. Like I said, I want them to have their opportunity to go to the NFL, you know what I mean? And for everybody, that's not going to be the case. But also, speaking real about my situation, like, you guys, a lot of y'all seen me and y'all thought, that I was, this player. So it's like, realistically, everybody in the room not going to go to the NFL. You got to be real with that. So like I said, really enjoy every moment that you do have to play the game, because it's been many times that I didn't think I was going to play no more. So it was, like I said, really inspiring. And me going back to school, like I said, the coaches, UCLA coaching staff, administrative, first class, everything. I have a degree already. I already had a degree in political science. I have another one in African American studies. So me starting my master's degree there was real special. The teachers, with the professors, explaining my situation with them, to them and all of that. Everybody, like I said, was helpful. I was thankful for that. I was thankful to be at a school like UCLA.
Yeah, man. I call this the underdog story. Man, this is really awesome, and we gotta share this to a lot more teams, man. But before we get to the CFL, I want to ask you, what was it like going against Tom Brady in practices while you were there in New England?
And Tom Brady is really smart. I will say that. It's the reason why he is who he is. It's kind of like he knows what's gonna happen before it does happen. And his connection that he had with Julian Edelman when he was there was second to none. It was kind of like Julian. I feel like he had option routes half the time, but they was always on the same page. Like I said, the practice environment in New England, they practice hard, hard-nosed football. I was able to connect with Matt Slater, who was a UCLA alum too, and showing the ropes, like I said, special teams and all that. It was a real good atmosphere to be in after being in LA for the Chargers. Like I said, it was real good atmosphere.
Yeah, so now transitioning to CFL, and obviously you're playing for Montreal now. And what's that been like for you, showcasing your talent there in a different league, and hopefully NFL teams look at you or scouting? Is that plan? So after the next part to this question, are you planning on coming back to the NFL if there's another opportunity?
If there's an opportunity to go play in the NFL, most definitely I'll go play in the NFL. Right now, I'm focused on we got one more regular season game here, and we have playoffs after that. So finishing the season strong has been a lot that I haven't had to learn. It's a different game. It's people running at you, receivers running at you now. It's 12 people on the field instead of 11. It's 3 downs instead of 4. So just learning the CFL game, but also being able to play how I play, physical, versatile, and being able to showcase me and leadership and all of that. So like I said, it's been a blessing for me to be here. I'm thankful for the opportunity, and I'm thankful to be a part of the LOS. And like I said, we got some more work to do as we finish we got one more game and go try to go win this Grey Cup.
Yeah, so speaking of the rule changes, obviously different from the NFL, how long did it take you to adjust to those rules the first time you came into Montreal?
Throughout training camp, it's different. You gotta adjust your techniques and, just listen to, the coaching that's provided, and experience, like I said, trial and error, in practice, really figuring it out. So like I said, it's about to be game 14. And I've been able to do a lot of different things out here, special teams, defense, even been able to return, all of that. So like I said, I've been blessed and thankful for that. I've been able to stay healthy throughout this whole time, and just been playing. So thankful.
Yeah, so having the story that you have, and obviously you have a lot of support around you from day one, and To be honest, the most important relationship is obviously your family and your parents and your whatever your siblings. But the next important thing is your coaching staff and the coaches that believe in you. That's what I see when it comes to the thing support system. So for you, what is it like to have coaches around you from day one that believed in you in high school, college? Obviously, Jim Mora, and you got to coach with Chip Kelly, a great head coach too, and also you got to play underneath Bill Belichick for a little bit, obviously in New England. So, just take us through that, and what was it like learning from those coaches?
I mean, coaching is really very important. I mean, I learned that from being, like I said, in a position to coach. You really can help shape, people's lives. So I thank all the coaches that I've been able to play under, and who've taught me lessons and taught me things about, life. Because football is a game, right? But life, I feel like it's a game too. So football is one thing that one day you're gonna have to stop playing. But I try to take all the lessons that I've learned from the coaches that I've had to apply that to life. And I feel like from that, it's always been bigger than just a game. So like I said, all the coaches that I've had have helped me, shape me to be who I am as a man.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give to the younger athletes now in this generation, from high school, middle school to high school, and middle school and high school kids? What advice would you give them?
Take full advantage of every opportunity given. Take it one day at a time, one step at a time, and focus on being the best you each and every day. You get one shot at the title in life, So continue to grow and elevate. Understand that some mistakes will be made, some lessons need to be and will be learned, through trial and error. But make the best decisions for you, first, you and your family, whatever, you was brought up with. And like I said, just be present in the present moment. Everything that happened in the past, learn from it, but continue to grow. You can never stop growing. And if you continue to want to grow and elevate as a man, then you will do that. If you can change your mind, then you can change your life.
Yeah. So this is a two-part question. What would you say your best or your funniest moment so far, and best moment so far in your career? Obviously outside the Rose Bowl, but outside of the Rose Bowl, what else would you say your best moment was in your career and the funniest moment? And the next part to this, what is the fan base like in Montreal for you guys?
Best moments, I'd probably say locker room. Locker room is always something that's people don't get a chance to see. People come to life. A lot of character is able to be shown in the locker room, away from the cameras and stuff like that. So I'm always filled with energy. I love to dance. I love to have fun. So stuff like that, people rapping stuff in the locker room. I say my little 1-2s every once in a while as well. So like I said, those probably the most priceless moments is the locker room. Nobody else get a chance. You don't really get a chance to see for real.
Yeah, and the next part, what do you like about the fan base in Montreal?
Montreal, it's been electric this year. I feel like we have a real good team. And like I said, we've been in position to go to the playoffs and, make a run for it. So each and every home game that we have, the fans come out. Like last game, it was pouring, raining, and the fans was outside. You know what I mean? So it's starting to get cold out here. It snowed today at practice. And we got, like I said, this is the last regular season game, but it's a home game. So I know fans will be out there, but it's really been exciting to play in front of those people.
Yeah, we're going to be rooting for you guys, and hopefully you guys go far in the playoffs and keep it going there. But I got to ask you about, I'm sure you're watching the NFL season this year, and obviously a lot of things are happening, and obviously being from UCLA, and obviously your boy Odell Beckham being back home in LA with the Rams, and obviously they didn't win yesterday, but he made his debut. But what are your thoughts overall on this crazy NFL season? We're already week 11, and what are your overall thoughts so far?
The season been real interesting so far. I'm really excited that Odell is in LA now. I know he loves LA, where we train at and all of that. So being able to see him there, Vaughn, and I said it's exciting. It seems like all the stars in LA right now. So it's exciting to watch that. I know he's gonna flourish out there. Like I said, the NFL season's been real interesting. Watching teams play. Sometimes the underdogs win. You be like, whoa! Like last night, people to sleep on Niners. It's like at the end of the day, they professional athletes, they going through preparation and all of that. They trying to win too. So you just never know. It's any given Sunday for real. Any given Monday or Thursday night when the NFL is playing.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Who's your favorite safety or cornerback to watch right now in the NFL?
Corner to watch in the NFL. I love the way Jalen Ramsey plays. Real physical, and he plays exceptionally well. I got a couple corners that I like to watch. Tre'Davious White, J.C. Jackson from the Patriots. He always seemed to get his hands on the football. Crazy. I just like I said, watching good defense for real. It's real. I love physical players in the secondary, just in general. So safety wise, I like Poyer from the Bills.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My all-time favorite safety, Cam Chancellor.
Yeah.
I just gotta throw that out there. He's not playing right now. No more, but gotta throw that out there. Who else? Of course, I like Jamal Adams' game in the run game when they let him blitz and do his thing like that. So, like I said, I just love watching the game though, for real.
All right, I'm a big Dallas Cowboy fan, and we have a player named Travion Diggs.
He's been going crazy. He trained with Jamal too.
Yeah,
he's been going crazy though.
Yeah,
a lot of the dudes that we be training with, Joe Hayden, Eric Kendrick's been playing well this year. But yeah, Trayvon, he been going crazy. He been going crazy. He probably having the best season out there. I'm a fan of him too. Because he been doing his thing. What, he got 8 picks so far this year?
Yeah, I think 8 picks, and he should be named the pick 7 or pick 8.
He been going crazy for real. It's like every week he gets his hands on the ball.
Or his nickname should be Diggs Island. But not.
Hey, I feel that though. I do. He's a special football player though. He gonna be something to reckon with here in the future. And, what's his second year?
Yeah, like second year. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he a lot more time to play, a lot more time to shine though. As long as he stay healthy, he gonna be good to go.
Hey, this shows how a change in coaching staff could help him. Like Dan Quinn coming in, he's been helping our defense big time. I love Dan Quinn already. He's been help. Obviously, this is the most complete team as I ever seen as a Cowboy fan, and I think we're gonna go far, hopefully. But I don't know yet. But let's see. But before we get to the last 2 things, tell our fans how grateful are you to be in this position right now. Obviously, overcome a lot of obstacles, a lot of unpacking, packing. Obviously, finally now getting settled in CFL, and just tell us how grateful are you to be in this position right now.
I'm definitely grateful, very, very grateful, extremely happy and thankful to be playing football again. And like, if you dream it, believe you can do it, hey, keep going. No matter what, just keep going, taking it one step at a time. And adversity is gonna really show who you really are. Through it all. So, like I said, I'm thankful that I know God, and I'm been able to persevere through the struggle. It's been a struggle, but the struggle, and I feel like in the end is what has built the muscle. So, I'm like I said, I'm really thankful and grateful to be in the position that I am, to be playing out here, and hopefully it leads to other things.
Yeah, so the last 2 things here, our team is part of this foundation. It's called the Hugh Jackson Foundation. He's a former NFL coach. He's now the offensive coordinator at Tennessee State with Eddie George, and we're trying to help him prevent human trafficking, making sure the community stays safe, the kids stay safe. So we'll send you the foundation so you can go check it out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and all the essential workers right now?
We appreciate you. It's a lot. I know y'all job is a lot for real, but definitely really, really appreciate you, and thankful for y'all. We get a lot of COVID tests every couple of days out here, and just the people that we working with that do the tests, nurses and all of that. Thankful and grateful for them. I know it's crazy times right now. Hopefully this can go away some way at one day, but really the nurses, doctors, everyone, y'all job really important. So we really, really appreciate them.
Yeah, well said. And there you have it. That wraps up episode 936 for the NR Sports Show with Adarius Pickett, aka Pick 6. Go follow him on all social media formats. He's a safety. He played for UCLA, played for the Bears, Chargers, Patriots, and now he's focused in the He's in the CFL league with Montreal. Man, I just want to say thank you for joining the show and sharing your story to everyone and our fans. It's really inspiring. Keep up the great work. Good luck the rest of the season, the last game, and good luck in the playoffs. We'll be rooting for you, and we would like to have you back on the show at some point down the line so you can meet the full team. But like I said, keep it up, and thank you again for coming on, and just keep getting those picks, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me on the show. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.